Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Justice for Comics. It's Saturday morning. Wanted to review an email I get every week, which is the CovrPrice top 20. They do a data point on all the books that are moving for the week. They analyze eBay listings and sold listings, and they compile a list. It's pretty similar to other people's lists, so some of this is repetitive. So if you watched my Hot 10 list by CBSI, yeah, a lot of the same books are going to be on this top 20 list, but this is a little bit more broader of a list. So a few other books that are highlighted that you may want to be aware of that are on the move. So let's jump into it here. Starting off with number 20, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 1. Just made the list. I guess Disney Plus is going to have a cartoon based on Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, so I don't think that'll ever be a live action movie or anything like that. It's just basically a cartoon geared towards younger kids. But it is moving the book up. Not an easy book to find. On my CBSI top 10 list, they had commented that it was a $10 to $15 book. I disagree with that completely. I mean, I've looked at this enough times on eBay to know the cheapest you can usually get is around 20 bucks. But consistently it was selling 25 to 30 in my opinion. So I don't know exactly what the price is going for now, but here they're saying a 9.8 CGC went for $180, so that is a confirmed sale. Seems like a pretty high amount for a book that is a first appearance of a character, but definitely a minor character. So if you run across it I would say if you run across a raw copy under $20, that might be a good pickup. Number 19 on the list, the Once and Future number 1. I've highlighted this book on some of my videos. It's definitely a good read. Great artwork by Dan Mora, and it's definitely on the move. I'm a little shocked that there was a raw high sale of $41. That's crazy. I have 4 copies of that book, so I think I don't know if this thing's going for over $40 consistently. I may have to unload a copy or two. Seems like a lot of money. Number 18, Dead End Kids number 1. Good book, good series, kind of like Once and Future, independent, good story, good artwork, or a decent artwork. I wouldn't say the artwork is near as good as Once and Future, but really good story. Low print run. Once and Future, though, did not have a low print run. Believe me, my comic book shop had 50 copies on the wall, so maybe that's not the case with every shop, but it seemed pretty easy to get, multiple copies. So, I had pre-ordered, I had it on my pull list for 1 copy, and then the rest I just bought right off the wall at my local comic book shop. So at least that week it wasn't low print run. Dead End Kids, different story. None of my local comic book shops had any extras of that series. You either pre-ordered that or had it on your pull list, or you didn't get a copy. So luckily I got 1 copy from my pull list on Midtown, and I have a variant copy from Black Cape Comics. That's super hot book right now. But yeah, that book's on the move. 9.8 just sold for $140. Raw condition, yeah, 30 to 35, pretty consistently. I don't think it's going for more than that. Number 17, Powers of X number 3, the Silva variant. No doubt about it. House of X, Powers of X. These books are on fire. That book's had a raw high sale of 29 bucks. It's a good series, no doubt about it. I've got the secret variant of this, so I'm assuming the secret variant is worth more. It's the same cover, it's just Nightcrawler is blue, and instead of Rasputin, you have Magic holding the sword. So, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that book's got to be worth more than $29 if the regular A cover is going for that. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Virgin, Virgin variant. All right, so there is the, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So the Virgin variant's going for $30. All right, sorry about that. So I would assume that the non-Virgin would be going for probably near cover price, and that secret variant maybe slightly above cover price. Number 16 on the list, Marvel Spotlight 28. Not the first appearance of Moon Knight, but his first solo series. Fairly affordable copy. I think you can still pick up a copy under $100. No, actually, I got that wrong again. And Marvel Spotlight, Moon Knight #1, you can get under $100 still, which is his first ongoing series. This is the first solo issue after Werewolf by Night. So, yeah, big prices on this. A 9/8, which had a high sale of $1,150. It says it's, okay. Recently had a high sale of $1,150. All-time high sale was $4,000 back in November 2017. Holy crap. Who bought that? It seems, wow. Talk about a bad investment. You put $4,000 into a comic book over 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago, and it's worth a 25% of what you paid. Ugh, that would be terrible. Yeah, that's why I don't buy a lot of graded books. It's just, that's where the hype is the most. That's where you're gonna tend to overpay the most, is buying graded, high-grade books. No doubt about it. Number 15 on the list, Werewolf by Night 32, first appearance of Moon Knight. There will be a Moon Knight movie eventually. No idea if it'll be good. He is a complicated character, multiple personalities. I mean, they definitely, if they get the right actor to play that, that could be a really good movie, which obviously would propel the pricing on these books even more. But you know, this is one of those books. It's a Bronze Age book, 1975. You know, it is fairly old, very hard book to find in good condition. A 9/4 just sold for almost $6,000. It's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. If you've been collecting comic books for a long time, and you were able to pick up a really good grade copy of that a long time ago, man, you're sitting on some good money now. So, one of the benefits of being a long-term investor in comic books, right? Buy them and hold them if you can do it. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is number 14 on the list. Yeah, I guess they're rebooting the animated series maybe on Disney Plus. It's the only thing I can think of. It says here Disney Junior announced a show with the same name with no connection to the original. Okay, I don't know. It's moving books though, apparently, right? A 9/8 just sold for $358. I looked online, ungraded, still $30 to $40. So you know, if that's something you're jonesing to buy, you can still get a raw copy. Not too bad. Number 13 on the list, Nova #1. I guess during an interview of the Russo brothers, a fan asked the question whether Nova would appear in the MCU in the near future. And Russo responded in reference to Endgame with, "Look closely at that scene again and you will see. You will see Richard Rider in the background of a shot." All right, so there's an Easter egg. I don't know. Is there going to be a Nova movie? I think if there is, I don't think it'll do well. I mean, that character to me is not anywhere near a marquee character. Maybe they could intertwine him with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the logical thing to do, is to kind of interwoven the character Nova in, you know, with part of another movie. His own standalone movie, I don't see that happening. But you know, 9/8s are going for $1,250. Yeah, I definitely would not be trying to pay money for one of those books. If I found a really nice grade for really cheap, I might pick one up. But again, not a character I really am that excited about, and I don't see it having its own him having his own series or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't chase Nova #1. That's just my opinion. Number 12 on the list, Powers of X #2. Again, Powers and House of X on fire. I know some people say Power or House of 10. I don't know. It's X, okay? If they wanted to put 10, they would put 10. They put an X. We don't live in ancient Rome. So I don't understand why people are saying House of 10 or Powers of 10. It's House of X, Powers of X. We don't live in Rome anymore, so get off of that. All right, issue number 2, going for a raw high sale of $22. Yeah, I mean, all those books are doing pretty well in the aftermarket. They were heavily printed. I don't know why, unless you just totally were sleeping on it, it shouldn't have been that hard to get a copy. For a couple weeks on Midtown, they had them available, A covers especially, so, you're just really not paying attention if you didn't get those for cover price. Number 11, House of X. Number 2, same thing about Powers of X. Hickman's doing a good job. Sales on those books are doing pretty well. Number 10 is Sensational She-Hulk #1. So this is the 1989, sort of what volume, is it volume 2, I guess? A little bit more affordable. I think Peter David was writing early She-Hulk, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you're not going to find that in a back issue bin cheaply, I don't think, but you might be able to find it a raw copy, $30 to $40 range, I would think is attainable. 9/8 just sold for $140, so yeah, that's about right. I think you could find that. I have Sensational. I'm not Sensational. I have Savage She-Hulk #1. Somebody gave it to me. This was I bought some books like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and the guy just threw a copy of that in for free. Had a little water damage on it, but it looks nice. I mean, it's not a character I'm really excited about, but I'm glad I have a copy at least. Number 9 on the list, Venom First Host #3. Raw high sale of $20. This came out in March, back in 2018. I believe this is the. See the image here. Yeah, that's the first A cover, first print. So that book is on the move. I collected the whole series. I don't think I have the A cover though. I can't remember what cover I bought. I don't think I have the A cover or the second print. It's just my luck. I have the one that's probably not worth much. But I did collect that series. It wasn't bad. It was decent. But you've got first appearance of a new symbiote in that issue. That's why it's on the move. And there's speculation that that's eventually going to be the symbiote that joins with Dylan Brock. So, yeah, we'll see. Number 8 on the list, all new Marvel Now .1. This is the first full appearance of Kamala Khan, who becomes the new Marvel Girl. 9/8 just sold for $440. Yeah, I mean, not a character I'm really that interested in, but yeah, there's people that love to collect those first appearances, so I think that was the cheapest first full appearance, so it's not as expensive as the other one that we'll get to here up the list. Number 7 is Devil Dinosaur #1 from 1978. Obviously, the Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur cartoon is creating some movement on this book. And 9.8 CGC just sold for $260, so there you go. Number 6, Savage She-Hulk #1. It says Newsstand Edition. I can't remember if my copy is a newsstand or a direct. I don't think it matters too much. It says here the prices are around the same. So there it is. Classic cover. High sale on a 9/8 of $600. It's pretty amazing. I think I remember seeing it for $250 to $300 not too long ago. So that book is definitely going crazy. Number 5 on the list, Moon Knight #1. This is the first ongoing series. And 9/8 just sold for $275. So this is the one that's a little bit still somewhat affordable. If you really want to get your hands on a Moon Knight copy, you know, I've seen them sell under $100. You know, decent grade under $100. So, yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult to find. Number 4 on the list, Avengers 47. First Black Knight in Cameo. That Disney D23 event highlighted that the guy that plays Jon Snow from Game of Thrones is going to be playing that character in an upcoming movie. So obviously this book's going on fire. It's definitely a harder book to find in great condition. I've looked for this book in the past. The yellow cover really shows a lot of scuffing. It's difficult to find high grade, so I can see why this book's going for the money that it is. Cool cover. But a 9/8 just sold for $910. Yeah, it's pretty high. So if you've got that in your back issues, that's awesome. If you find it at some old shop sitting in a back issue bin, try to pick it up. I think that would be a good long-term investment. Savage SheHulk #1. I think we just talked about this. This is the direct edition. Yeah, they're going for about the same, right? So, the newsstand just sold 9/8 for $600, and the direct edition just sold for the same price, basically. Number 2, Venom Host #3, second print. This was one I could have easily bought. I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I probably should have. Kind of a cool cover. Yeah, that book's going for decent money. $30 now. 9/8 just sold for $200. Yeah, so raw copy would probably cost you $30 to $40 range, I would think. And number 1 on the list, finally, Batman #77. Going for around $30 in raw, high-grade condition. This is the A cover. There's also a Clayton Crane B cover going for probably around the same amount of money last time I checked. Probably the best way to optimize resale on that is to sell them as a set. And my computer's not showing the image for some reason. So spoiler, Alfred supposedly gets his neck broken in this issue. We don't know whether he's dead. We're assuming he's dead in this issue. But as you well know, in comic books, no one ever really dies. So a lot of people are questioning whether this book will hold its value or not. You know, it's one of those things. I was lucky to pick it up for cover price. I picked up a couple issues. You know, it was a good story. I liked it, actually. Tom King, I think, did pretty well on that issue. Whether it ends up being the true death of Alfred or not, you know, who knows? I guess time will tell. But you know, I don't think it's worth going out and paying $30 or $40 for that issue. You know, try to pick it up a little cheaper if you can, if you missed it, or you know, wait a little while and see if it drops down in price. It probably will. So that's kind of what I had for you guys. Also, real quick, I live in Florida, so I've gotten some people asking about the hurricane. Here's the projected. This morning I pulled up the latest path of the hurricane, and looks like it's gonna just trim the east coast of Florida. So Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, probably up to Daytona, up to Jacksonville. You know, they're gonna get a lot of rain. Doesn't look like it's gonna be a direct hit though. The eye of the storm seems to be staying offshore. At least that's the projected path. Who knows? You never know with hurricanes. I've lived in Florida a long time. I've seen several I remember Hurricane Andrew, which was obviously pretty devastating to the Miami Homestead area. Yeah, I mean, we'll have a couple days. Monday and Tuesday will probably just be a lot of rain. You know, I'm in Tampa. Tampa is very difficult to get hit by a hurricane. Mainly to get a direct hit, it has to be a hurricane that enters the Gulf of Mexico. And one of the reasons it doesn't tend to hit Tampa when it comes in the Gulf of Mexico is because there's a lot of warm water up near the Panhandle. And the reason for that is the water, the Gulf of Mexico gets pretty shallow up there, so the water gets hot pretty easily. And where there's hotter water, it draws the hurricane to it. So that's why when you see a lot of hurricanes enter the Gulf of Mexico, it doesn't just like turn. It'd be very difficult for it to turn and hit Florida. You need a I'm doing like a weatherman report here. You need like a big pressure system to come down and push the hurricane into Florida. What usually happens is this warm water up here in the Panhandle just draws the hurricane right up to it, and usually the Panhandle or Louisiana, you know, those areas get typically hit by the hurricane. So if you want to avoid hurricanes, Tampa's a good spot. It doesn't get hit. I think it's been hit once in 100 years. So it's a pretty good place to live if you want to avoid hurricanes. Everywhere else in Florida tends to have some issues. East Coast, definitely. Anywhere on the East Coast, you could get slammed. The Keys obviously get hit sometimes. The Panhandle's probably the worst. So, you know, I think we'll be okay. It's just going to be some rain, which, you know, we're used to that in Florida. We get rain all the time. So that's my weather report. If anybody cares, I'm sure most people don't. But if you're anywhere near Florida, that's kind of the projected path. All right, guys. If you haven't already, please hit my the bell for notifications on my videos. Like and share them. That helps me grow my channel. And please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What do you think of these books that are on the top 20 list? Do you think some of them deserve to be there? Maybe they don't. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll probably not have another video out until Monday or Tuesday, depending on, you know, what happens with the hurricane, I guess. If it comes right for Tampa, I probably won't have power. So I probably won't do a video maybe until Wednesday of next week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.